line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet. Not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up.
Well, race fans, we're back live here today down at Daytona Beach, Florida, as Daytona International Speedway will lay host to once again some more hardcore racing as BackFire Sim Racing returns to the show, returns to the track once again for their season opener right here on PTM Racing TV. Hi, got our own eye, the Crusader, Crystal Driver with you live here tonight as we are looking upon down at our drivers getting their last minute practice sessions in, their last minute warm-ups down on the field. We've got a laundry list of drivers ready to bring the moments and bring the momentum to full gear. Over 45 drivers have locked in with us here tonight to try to play their hand and try to play their cards here as they continue to get practice kind of sessions cleared up here, get things done and cleared up for the qualifying session right now. Looking at our top spots in the moment right now, looks like we're having ourselves a little bit of a situation here as Carl Handwork is your #1 qualifier from the initial start here with Christian Roos, Wes Fuller, Chris Papa, and Thaddeus Marshall, your top 5 in that set. Their times of showing up 48.45s to the 48.48s, 48s, 48s, 48s. I really think that might be the first time in a long time I've seen 4 drivers get the same number, except for the one above them, which is by 3/10 of a second, 3/100 of a second. That's crazy. I guess that's the first for everything around here. Right now, watching down at the 85 here, Nick Biddy as he performs his qualifying lap. Lays down on his first lap. Does not get a qualifying lap in on that one just yet, so he looks like he'll start his up. DJ Dano getting ready to clear his up with the 23 right now. You can see him working the outside, trying to build speed up to then set up towards for the runoff on the bottom end. Jar's getting ready to get him set up and ready to fire him on down. Thomas Whitehead saying, "Come on, PTM, get better, get her done." What, Thomas? What are you talking about? What did I do? I'm just watching I'm just getting ready for the broadcast, getting ready for the race. We got over 45 drivers here. I had to get going quickly, otherwise we're going to be here a while when it comes to the gridding order. Nick Biddy finally coming around here to finish out his qualifying lap to the finish stripes here and lands a lap time. It's a 43 position on his lap. Kind of crazy to believe out of that lineup we got going on, but a 48.94, not enough to get into that top end of that top bracket. DJ Dander, one of the guys we've seen here plenty of times before, really put up a fight and put on a show here. We'll see what happens as he reels it right around the track onto the front straightaway here. Down to finish up his lap time. It cuts across the bottom end there. And that actually helped him out just enough to actually get second out of that one. Oh my. So now Looks like he's pretty much just kind of taking over this playing field here a little bit. That'll be interesting to see what happens here as we now present to you live here and now the BackFire Sim Racing grading order for today's season opener. Let's start it on the pole. Let's go off to the start. We will see Carl Handwork at the 51 is outside. That'll be DJ Daniel in the 23. Row number 2 is going to be Christian Roos in the 14 is outside. That's the 35, Wes Fuller. Row number 3 is Chris Pop on the 13 is outside. It's the 87, Thaddeus Marshall. Row number 4 is going to be TJ Roberts, and the 11 is outside. That's the 95, Aaron Brown. Row number 5 is going to be Mr. Eddie Morris. The 96 is outside. The 78 is Bailey Gelinas. Row number 6 is going to be Alexander J. Kerfond is outside. That'll be the number 61 of Bronson Stafford out of Canada. Row number 7, my long lost cousin Nick Shriver, and the number 5 is outside. The 31, that's Brock Whitehead. Row number 8 is going to be Anthony Circle, and the number 29 is outside. The 53, that'll be Nicholas Panico. Row number 9 is Ricky Gonzalez here in the 48 is outside. That'll be the 98 of Jeremy Richmond. Row number 10 is going to see Jason Schilling. Then the number 2 is outside. That'll be Mike Savansky in the number 22. Row number 11, that's going to be Pierce Maffett. In the 47 is outside. The 32, that's Paul Owens. Row number 12 is going to be the 27, Hunter Collier. And the outside of him, that'll be a 34, the Mullen Man, Robert Lawrence. Row number 13, Triple Trey. He came to play Whitehead. And the 33 is outside. That'll be the 45, Cole Martin. Row number 14 is going to be Harrison Mitchell. And the 67 is outside. That's the 94, Matthew Robinson. Row number 15, it's Daniel Keown. And the 25 is outside. That's the 28, the Man Beast, Wayman Jr. Row number 16 is going to be Nathan Bogart. And the 30 is outside. The 26 of Blake Howell. Row number 17 is going to be Brock Savalti. And the 97 is outside. The 21, that's Joey Chapman. Row number 18 is going to be Cliff Courrier Jr. And the 84 is outside. 63, Daxton Stokes. Row number 9, I've completely lost my count here, guys. I'm sorry. All right, hold on a minute. We're on the producers. Get that back here, please. We got Corvier. All right, Dakota Stokes. Yeah, I'm sorry. Row number 19 should be, right? Yeah, row 19. That'll be Joe Davide. And the 85 is outside Logan Hartman. And the 15, row number 20 will be Terry Milliam. And the 12 is outside Chris Wheeler. And 38, row number 21, Patrick McQuaid. And the 77 is outside Robert Kenny. And the 10, row number 22, that'll be Tom Bourne. The 16 is outside Nick Biddy. And the 85, row number 23, Ryan Sizemore. And the 3 is outside Dylan Hervat. And the 17. Final starters in this one out of the 48 drivers, Mike Keensley in the 8 is outside Joshua Billiter in the 46. And I am out of breath already. Well, you wanted a laundry list of drivers tonight. I think you're about to get it here, folks. So here we go, ready to feel them on down, getting ready for the action here tonight, race fans. We're on. I hope you guys got your cameras ready. You got your show on the road. Make sure you share the stream around and share our YouTube around a bit because we're about to get to the action and get to the show. Drivers lined up in position. It's time to get down to business at Daytona. We'll bring him right around out of corner number 4 now, this time by looking for the green flag on the start. Here we go. Let's charge him up and get him fired off. It's time to go racing here on PTM Racing TV. Drivers out of the gate here. We're off and running. And I might have some camera issues here tonight, unfortunately. Looks like I might be having some glitch graphic gremlins kind of popping in on my end here, so I do apologize out of the gate if something goes wrong on my end on that. Right out of the gate here, everyone already muscling through the field, looking for some opportunities to hit it big and throw the strikes down on the track here. Coming through the corners here right now, DJ Daniel, the early leader, and the number 23, he pulls it just enough ahead of Carl Handwork. Handwork going to have to try to hopefully find a crossover stage here to get him around. Looking and rocking outside the pilots, the draft line in. Look at the power and the speed both boasted by the drivers up front. It's a haymaker and a half. Field up front right now. They continue to drive him in deep. Field working their way around right now. The number 51, Carl Handwork, has the early lead. DJ Daniel had a solid position there for a brief fleeting moment, but lost a little bit into that run. Has to kind of fall back a little bit here as the drivers continue to pace their way around the track. Many of the other guys right now kind of hanging back here from the initial start, kind of giving themselves a little bit of breathing room. And yes, I know already I'm going to have a lot of troubles here. My glitch graphic gremlin friends are already kind of annoying me tonight. Just a lot of drivers kind of have to switch back through and kind of have to figure out from the here. Unfortunately, we were not expecting this many drivers, to be honest with you, so it gets kind of crazy here to figure out who's where and who's what. Stephanie Spence saying, let's go number 8. Tom Sweat is saying, nothing bad, just like pack racing. Larry Cable guy said, very funny. Cody McRae, holy crap, a lot of drivers. Yeah, Cody, at least you're not here calling this one with me, buddy. That's one's a little hard to figure out how to call. You'll see him come Sunday night as well here, folks. Off the back burners here through the first set of corners here. So far, it's been pretty clean, pretty solid. Drivers just kind of doing their own little thing, kind of moving through the chains. Again, there's over 48 drivers here with us on the show and here with us on the track. That is a laundry list of drivers and a whole lot of drivers I was not expected to see. So far, pretty clean, pretty stable here. Everyone just kind of doing their own little roundabout, running the race in. Off the corner ends here through the turn 1 here. Jason Schilling moving the number 2 right into place, right into the field protection here, looking for some openings. Trying to hang in there as he continues to dive in back towards the bottom end, or maybe trying to get a little runoff here. He's got Robert Kenny in the number 10 right now, pushing and shoving him a little bit while you see right coming off the pack, the number 32. That is Paul Owens. 32 spots back from the field in the whole roundaround, but they are hammering everything they got trying to catch up with the field. A lot of drivers kind of working up the front, while a lot of others maybe working back in the pack here. We'll take a look here as we go through the rest of the field here. Some guys in the pack right now just doing their own little thing here. Oh, wait a minute. There is major trouble down here, though. We got major problems. The audience marshal and them all wrecked out. Big problems down here off the front straightaway. We're going to have to call a caution here. Carl Handwork and part of that little mess here. I'm not sure what exactly transpired. We saw the smoke coming down off that front straightaway there for a brief fleeting moment. Not sure where everything went wrong. But we'll take a look here at the PTM Racing replay now. Presented by BackFire Sim Racing. Here's what happened. Looked like maybe things got a little bit heated up front. DJ Daniel and Handwork pushing and shoving. It looks like Handwork actually got a little too close for comfort with Daniel. Smashes right in, and that whole field pretty much got a little taste of that crash zone. 4 drivers involved in that one, and multiple kind of crashed up, unfortunately. That's a tough break there. Unfortunately, we didn't have another camera angle to really show there, so I apologize in advance. Again, guys, we were not expecting this many drivers, so we do really apologize if you do not see your driver. You see one of the guys out here we're supposed to be showing. Jeffrey Vickery coming on board saying, let's go, let's curve on. Jeffrey, we're good to have you on board as well. Got a lot of you guys coming on board that new to the show or have been around quite a bit, so we do appreciate you tuning on in. It was a bit of an interesting situation during qualifying session where DJ Daniel and the Handwork were the 2 fastest guys. And Handwork right now struggling to try to get his car back into one piece, back into one shape here. While the rest of the field just trying to keep themselves out of trouble and out of problem zone. Easier said than done again with these next gen cup cars. These aren't exactly the slingshot cars you would think they should be. These are more of the kind of run and go with what you got kind of cars. They can be a lot of fun to race and can be a lot of work to race, but they are certainly a challenge and a half in its own right. And with 100 laps here at the course as well, that really makes things a lot harder to really deal with. 3 countries represented in this track here tonight. Hunter Collier, our good friend down in the islands here, representing well for his countrymen. As Canada's own Bronson Stafford also going to try to represent from what he's been doing here on the track. And then everyone else, well, you could probably guess where they come from. There are Americans, of course. Our American colleagues and friends here on the track. field, trying to stretch them back up, trying to get settled back down. Of course, remember 100 laps here at Daytona is certainly nothing to sneeze at, and it's certainly not exactly a situation you can just kind of let off and let in of. You have to be very careful out there with what you're given and what tools you're to be using, especially these next-gen Cup cars, because of how tough they can really be to handle out here. Richard Long saying, "Let's go Stokes here tonight." Stokes, you got a lot of love down there from his friends and colleagues, of course. Stokes right now driving in the number 63. There he is right now, popping up on your screen. Talked about him just a little earlier on here, and right now, judging by positions in the counter here, he is up 13 spots so far. A hard charger tonight. Not the ultimate hard charger. We must give the nod to Mr. Nick Biddy here. Started back in the 44 spot. Currently is in the 25th position. Piloting the number 85 machine tonight, the Summit machine. The Summit Chevrolet here. Everyone representing with a Chevrolet or a Ford. No Toyota Camrys in this one, so to our fellow Toyota Camry folks, I apologize in advance, but we do not have any of them tonight. Robert Van Nest, coming on board. Good to have you on board here tonight, my friend, and just kind of reading over your comments too. And Robert, to be honest with you, I really cannot do much help for you there, my friend. We do not have exactly the names there, who is from where and who's from when, so just kind of be aware of that, my friend. We can't really speak about that stuff here on the show. Well, the drivers have had enough of waiting around. They're tired of they're tired of having to wait for this to start. They're ready to get now onto the show and ready to fire them out. They'll bring the field and bring these set of drivers off the track and on the show. And for those at home wondering, yes, I can usually show about 40 drivers out on the track, but since there's about 48, it kind of messes up my settings a little bit. That's why you may see some guys kind of blink in and out, like that. It's not because of anything the driver's fault. It's just something I cannot control, unfortunately. See that whole laundry list of rows of drivers here trying to pull this one in brigade and pull it in the momentum. So as we deal with those glitch-graphic gremlins popping up from time to time, I think the drivers are ready to wind this one back up and fire them off once more. Robert, yeah, no problem, bud. Rock Whitehead saying, "Let's go, man, Junior." The man beast in the house. Christopher Hupka saying, "Rooting for Gus Motorsports, TJ and Patrick." Christopher, it's good to have you back on board, bud. Good to hear from you, sir. Off the corner zone, back to the green flag restart. Here we go. And we'll bring the drivers back into the brigade and back into position. They're on the green flag restart, and we're off and running. Off the position line right now, Eddie Morris now with the race lead. The 96, Christian Roos, and the 14 following right behind him. Through the field we go. Everyone giving himself some momentum and getting himself some pushing and shoving here on this track. This is certainly the track they're going to have to do a lot of that to keep up with the distances. Mike Savonsky here on the number 22, 12 spots up. Started back 20th, he's in 8th. Looking to maybe line the troops up and line the fields in for a little bit of a hustle and a bustle here. This is certainly what they have to do here to keep this distance. Yeah, come to think of it, actually, I think this is the most we've ever seen here on Daytona, by the way, for a track field. I know we've had 40 plus drivers before. I think this is the most we've ever had, though. This is a pretty impressive lineup here for BackFire Sim Racing. It's good to see, because this group really thrives and really has a lot of potential, to say the least, here, and that's a good thing to see. Savannah Shriver coming aboard here. Hey, good to hear from you again, Savannah. Just keep that top 10 here, Mr. Nick. She's talking about the boy himself, Nicholas Shriver, as I jokingly call him, my long lost cousin. Because again, my last name is Shriver and so is his, which I don't think there's any other Shrivers in the iRacing world that I'm aware of. So it's kind of crazy to hear. Speaking of long lost runs, there are a little bit of momentum boost coming up right through the fields here as you see some movement coming through. Daxton Stokes, Blake Howell, TJ Roberts, all in the pursuit and in the fiery positions. Cliff Corvier Jr. also kind of moving his chains in, trying to move up some runs or two, find a few spots to hit up. Every driver for themselves right now as they continue to pound them on down. The number 12, Terry Millimer, and the number 27 actually running the Sim Stamp 12, but he's actually in the 27 Amco machine. Trying to hold back there with the 13 across Papa. As Papa now looking to charge up a little runoff, almost going for the pass, couldn't quite get it. Had nowhere to go and nowhere to run out away from, and that's going to cost him some major time and a half here. Robert Kennedy, the number 10 SimSpeedShop.com machine, looking to work in with the field as Patrick McQuaid, the 77, also in that playing field. Every driver for themselves here, everyone giving it their all and their worth. Tom Bourne, the 16, doing much of the same. Everyone looking for an opportunity to strike and go big or go home, especially with that leader right up ahead in the 96. Eddie Morris right now looking to do the unthinkable and pull off a W here in his first television debut here. While Aaron Brown, I believe this is also his television debut in the 95, I believe trying to work with his teammate up there, Jeremy Richmond, Alexander J. Kerfon, I believe also kind of playing into that field, kind of playing into that track zone. Right now, field starting to go into that single file draft line, or you could call it the choo-choo Daytona Talladega draft train, because that's pretty much what it's all about. Just draft them up and let them run. You got guys walking in the back, you got drivers working from the front, and then you got a field of other guys right here that just want to try to hang in there. Getting kind of hard to see where everyone is at certain spots here, unfortunately, just due to, unfortunately, circumstances. From our end here, it looks like Ryan Sizemore, Triple Trey, came to play Whitehead, Brock Whitehead, and Thaddeus Marshall all having some mechanical problems down there. Dylan Nervad and Joshua Billiter, same situations for them. Not sure what exactly is going on with them here at the moment, or they could just be that the virtual world is not wanting us to show them right now at this moment until they get further up into the field. There could be a bunch of things here, but you can see guys right now in the back here, the 61 Bronson Stafford, kind of holding up the rear end of the field here. Guy right up in front of him, Pierce Matfit, Wes Fuller, Carl Handwork. Saw your leader earlier on get taken for a ride there on that front straightaway. Mike Keensley and Tom Bourne all in that draft package zone here. Meanwhile, moving back up to the front here, Brock Savalti, the 97, 21 spots up. You want to talk about hard charging? That man had a charge from a whole lot of runs. He was up. He was in the 33rd spot. He's made it all the way to 12th at the moment. He's hitting everything here. Putting everything in between and all that around here. Brockhead, what's going on down there?
Yeah, so we didn't pay, and we had arrangements around with the league owner, and too many guys got in the league, and yeah, so we got screwed out of racing basically.
Fair point there, my friend. But nevertheless, so we appreciate. Well, at least it was good to hear from you and understand the situation and why we can't get you in here. But I mean, at the end of the day, man, we'll still see you around on the other season, the other leagues here, bud. So hopefully everything goes okay for you.
Yeah, I'll see you on Monday and Tuesdays at least.
Yep, we'll see you then.
Yep, thank you.
Well, all right. Continuing on around right now, Jeremy Richmond, the 98 here, trying to keep up the distance, trying to keep up the show here. Christopher Hupka saying, I'm also rooting for Brock Savalti. He may be running that Hupka Real Estate Camaro. I think he is right now. Bryce Brown saying Stokes here. And Stephanie Spence is also going for Keensley here. We got a lot of drivers going for some family members and some fields here in this one. A little bit of movement and travel coming up from the end to the outhouse, right through to the White House here. Everybody making their runs, making it clear as it be. The 94 of Matthew Robinson trying to make it do it up on the outside, while you see Mr. 38 Chris Wheeler pushing and shoving up in front into the fight zone. You literally think every time these guys go one-on-one with one another, you think this was literally some kind of Ultimate Fighting Championship matchup because they're just putting punches straight to the face and kicks all over the place. They have nothing left to gain and everything to lose. But at the same time, they are fighting with all their pride and all their heart. Here's a little bit of a trouble there getting that draft package to work off. Getting so some of them down a little bit. You can see a little bit of movement coming from the field. That is the 11 right now of TJ Roberts and the 38 of Chris Wheeler coming through the field, coming into the end. Running them down the ends here right at the moment, the 26, Blake Howell continuing to drive and drive off the corners here, hoping for a little bit of help, hoping for a little bit of a runoff. Joe Davide right now trying to get in that field. He's currently in the 25 at my fifth spot at the moment, with the 77 of Patrick McQuaid right in his spot and in his view. Every driver for themselves here, everybody giving it their all for what it's worth, I will say. But again, so much going on the track, so much going down on the field zone here. It's really kind of a matter of time to see who gets the better rundown and who gets the better officiating here on their end. About 1/5 of the way there so far. Jeremy Richmond currently 15 spots up, looking to try to bolster and master the draft. Easier said than done, especially considering what he's got going on here with that package deal. And again, this is that whole single file card package deal, because again, they really don't have a lot of ways to make runs on the outside, at least not without some help. And the only way to get help is to force somebody to come with you. So you have to have basically yourself and a bunch of other guys trust in enough of a push and trust in the other driver up ahead to actually push up just enough and then make a pass around. And it just makes it for extremely hard, difficult racing. That's why I see a lot of guys generally when they get into it, because they're running out of time and they're running out of room, and there's not a whole lot of time you get to run here anyway, so you're really just trying to make do what you can here. Cole Martin, the number 45 here, trying to put Ed in the shove and trying to put on the fight. Looking to bring in the Richard Marty 45 machine, as he's got some company right below him. The 84 here, Cliff Corvier Jr., right also in that hunt. The 83 of Joe Davide also moving through the chains. Guys on the outside still can't get anything to go as we go 3 wide, sliding for a brief fleeting moment. A brief fleeting moment indeed here, and it looks like that was lap traffic, unfortunately, for some of these guys here. You got to get away from. Hard to tell which driver that was from our end here, but I had to guess probably the 23, I believe, or the 28. That might be the Manby's Lehman Jr. we saw going past around there. Not a whole lot of room, not a whole lot of area to really get away from. And the field just doing everything they can to keep up their distance, keep up their chances. In the back of the outhouse right now, trying to make their way up into the White House. You got a little bit of a push and a shoving contest here, as you see a little bit of help and work done from Bronson Stafford here in the 61. Pierce, or excuse me, I believe that might be the 16 Tom Bourne here. That is indeed the 16 Tom Bourne. We're watching right now with the trying to put the 86. Okay, I'm so sorry guys. These numbers are a little harder to see, I will admit, from how small they are. Oh, that's not hard to see though. The 63 of Daxton Stokes taking for a ride. Big wreck coming off of turn 1. Caution flag is out here. We got the 2. Jason Schilling crashed in as well here. A big wreck, and it looks like the 35 West Fuller taking him out for a bit of a showcase here. Unfortunately here at Daytona, tough break there for all drivers involved. And just as I was just trying to figure out the numbers, apparently they're like, well, we'll just put them in a cloud of smoke and see if they can figure it out then. Apparently I just figured that one out, but let's take a look at the replay. This was certainly a bit of a rough-edged sword here for these drivers up ahead. Man, you want to talk about wild moments here. The 63 of Daxton Stokes just gets a little caught up there from the draft of the 10 and gets taken in, and then the whole field just takes a big lick and a half there. Nowhere you can go in that instance and nowhere you can drive off from it. That's a tough break there. That is a hard lick there, unfortunately, to say the least here. Field will have to get kind of taken back down a few notches and kind of relaxed up a little bit more. Any quick repairs tonight from Richard Long? Hold on one moment. I gotta kind of cut that one. Yep, they do have 1 inch to repair, and they got a couple. It looks like tire sets wise, they are kind of restricted on that one. They only got about 2 or it looks like they only got a set or 2 on that. But yes, there is an inch to repair ready to go there. Sorry for the replay there. Not gonna lie, folks, it got so cold down here at PTM TV studio. Even though I'm here in Daytona International Beach, Florida, I'm still kind of cold. It's cold in the Iowa section, so coming here, I was just freezing up. So I ended up having a little fire, and unfortunately, I think I might have burnt the stage notes with us. So I apologize in advance. Field coming down to pit road here. Everyone getting a little bit of a situation handled up. Regroup everybody in the field and regroup all drivers down on the track. Roast Racing coming on board. Thanks, giving us a little share and a little help there. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a minute. What the heck happened here? I got one driver there crashed out. That's the 45. I don't even know what the heck happened to him there, but things are happening all over the place here on pit road and pit lane here. Oh, good lord. Things happen every which way to Sunday, I guess, and they are happening all over here. That was Cole Martin, by the way, there that got caught off in that little tail spin. Still no word on exactly what happened as we get everyone kind of situated back out on the track. Bit of a wild little circumstance there, a little situation just brewed up. Hupka, I'm not really sure if he is running that Hupka All Real Estate car. I'll take a look for you here. Hold on. There's only one true way to find out here. I think you know how. See if we can get a good look at that car here. Well, the producer's getting a good look at that. That is Brock Savalti there, by the way. That's the Coastal Pacific marketing car. I do not think that is a Hupka car there, my friend. Alright, producers, get the drone cam out of there. I don't think he needs to be worried about seeing that thing flying around his head there. There you go. Alright. Driver's ready to wind him back up. We're going to get him double filed up. Lights going to be off on the pace car here. Field ready to big him back up, kind of fire him off once more. Lights off on the pace car, as you can see there. Driver's just looking to get this race in the season opener really started up on a high note. Last time we started up with BackFire Sim Racing here was with the Daytona section here, and we did have those Cup cars, the original Gen 6s, before they did the little update and changed everything out. Definitely gave everything a little bit more of an interesting get-up and a little more of a slingshot package deal, but obviously with these next gens, that's the complete opposite. Just seems like those Gen 6s, as the lights pop back up on the pace car, they're going to get them one more lap around before they go green. Kupka saying he's in trouble. Uh-oh. Yeah, hell, Savalti, I didn't do it, man. I'm showing what I got on my television screen here, bud. Whole laundry list of drivers here still trying to make or break this race here and trying to hopefully get this one fielded back into play. Pace car off of turn 2. Drivers lined back up, double filed in position here. Everyone just hoping and praying to get themselves a chance to taste sweet, sweet victory. As the number 2, Jason Schilling, will be the man in charge, the man with the plan. And, well, but it's surprising, obviously, because obviously we saw earlier Jason Schilling got sent to the Shadow Realm, it seemed like, and it looks like he's going to get sent back to the Shadow Realm, it looks, I guess, in this case. So Eddie Morris and Aaron Brown will regain the upper hand here. I think the officials are trying to figure out who is where and who is what. Again, there's over 4. Again, remember there, guys. There's over 40 drivers in this lobby, in this series right now, in this track, on this track. It's 2.5 miles long in length. It's not exactly the easiest to figure out who goes where and who goes what on a track like this, in a situation like this in this case. So they obviously are trying their best to get everyone sorted out, get figured out. They want to make sure it's a fair race and a fair call battle. They're doing what they can, and you got to give them credit at least for trying. So. Coming right around here, off the ends, off the spots here on the front straightaway. Now I think we're going to be ready to go, Grayson. There are lights off on the pace car, so that tells me usually we're ready to go to the battle. 27 laps completed so far. We are still needing to get to 100 laps, so. Field paced in, field ready to back it on down on the track, ready to go at it once more. And I believe this time we're not changing anything. You see drivers are lined up, they're ready, they're stabled in, they're wanting to go and have a little tussle, a little scruffle, a little battle on the show. Christian Roos in there in the number 14, looking to maybe make a little show, or still trying to for sure know if it is Roos or Roos. I believe it's Roos still, so that's what he told me. I'm gonna stay with it. I don't know why I keep saying Roos. Maybe it's just that double O. It's like Roos. It's kind of like a dog. Gotta go roof roof. Gotta get a little bark under that collar and all that. Well, he certainly knows that. He certainly can get it to the. He can certainly bring it to the table and bring it to the show. As the drivers bring him right back around, green lights are on, and we're back underway. Driver Shan setting it on down through the corners and through the bankings here. Every driver for themselves. Everyone already kind of piling up and finding their own little situation, their own little lineup, if you will. Maybe looking to give themselves a little bit of breathing room, a little bit of time to go at it. Some guys right now lap down like Hunter Collier, and then 27, and then the Man Beast William Mann Jr. and the 28 also down a lap or so. While others just trying to hopefully find themselves a little bit of workaround, a little bit of momentum. Cliff Corvier Jr. certainly is one of them. Off the ends they go here and down that front straightaway. Every driver for themselves, hoping for the best and hope for something here. The extreme difficulty and all-around package these drivers bring to the table certainly is something to behold and something to be had here. And yet they're doing everything they can, not only to push and shove and to get themselves a run, but also to find an opening and find a line around here. Diving in deep, you can see a little bit of a block move there by Eddie Morris on the outside. He puts the 96 and the 99 in play. Alexander J. Kerfon looks to keep up there with Morris. Savalti all in this to win the Savalti we've seen before here. Really make a name for himself and make a little bit of a legacy on him and his crew, no matter where he goes here. And if he's on PTM Racing TV, I know he just drives a little harder on the track. I mean, he's always seemed to be a little bit more aggressive. Always seems to have that little extra oomph and a little firepower under his hood. I think so does my long-lost cousin, Nicholas Shriver, there in that 5. You can see him now piloting right on the inside here as he's got the 10 of Robert Kennedy right on the 5. Oh, I had to change him a little bit too quickly there. Oh, my! Oh, my, the 47 of Pierce Maffitt sent sky high and sent for a ride on the back straightaway. No caution out yet. They're going to let him keep going, but Pierce Maffitt, my goodness, he went right to the shadow realm and back, my friends. He is down and out, but he's got it refired. He's going to try to get in pit road and hopefully get an instant repair quickly. That is a tough break and a huge lick and a half. I cannot believe he was able to get out of that one okay, but there is a caution now, so caution is out at last here, so that will give him a chance to try to regroup and restructure, but what the heck happened here? Oh my goodness. Take a look at this one, folks. This was a wild wreck here, to say the least. It's one of the scariest wrecks you see no matter which track you go, and it looks like he just brought it right down at Shriver. And look at this, he just got sent out of here. Oh my. Side skirts completely gripping the grass. The grass just kind of cuts him a new one and throws him out of here. He had absolutely nowhere to go and had absolutely no idea where he was going when it hit him, and that is certainly the case. He was trying to do what most drivers were trying to do as well, which is just head down the bottom lane and get something going. But unfortunately, he just kind of got cut off guard and kind of cut down the bottom end there. And you can see there, man, once he just caught it, he had no trouble. He had nowhere to go. Field working their way back around the track here. Everyone's just trying to get Sella back up from that horrific crash we just saw a minute ago. That's a tough break there from Maffitt too, man. He was doing everything he could to stay out of trouble and stay in the proverbial progression zone, but man, that was a huge lick and a huge hard hit. Unfortunately, every driver getting a piece of that one, but that is not what you want to see by any means of the imagination for any driver or anybody out there. Wow. Keeping it around down the track here. And by the way, folks, we are not bringing any more drivers in until everything gets cleared up down there. A lot of frustrations being bolted over and a lot of issues coming down. We will talk with the top three at the end of this race here, of course, but there's unfortunately just a little bit of situations here, so. So right now, top 10 here, looking at it, Eddie Morris, Alexander Jacob Fawn, Brock Savalti, Jeremy Richmond, Aaron Brown, Daniel Keown, Patrick McQuaid, Mike Savatsky, Robert the Mullen Man Lawrence, and Nathan Bogart. They are right now your 10 drivers in the field, still in the running, still in chance for possible glory. Brock can't pull anybody else in right now. I only brought you in because I wanted to see what was going down there on the track here. Only allowed to talk with the top three at the end of the night. That is what our commands are from the booth and commands from the producers. Looking to pace this one down and around town and bring this one back up to Brigade. Chris Papa, Anthony Circle, looking to get themselves into the old top 10 positions. Christian Rose in the 14, and then Nick Biddy in the 85, also looking to maybe make a run for it. TJ Roberts and Chris Wheeler looking to get themselves a fighting chance. Matthew Robinson as well. Every driver for themselves here, and everybody playing in a position, playing down on the track side of things. Everyone now progressing through, and there's some hard racing to be dealt with and some hard battles to go on now. We've seen the Mullet Man Robert Lawrence before here put on some fights and put on some shows, and it's not surprising to me he's already in this hunt still and in this progression drill. Could be some serious guys pinning it up. So Savannah Shriver saying you can catch back up next Shriver. Yeah, he certainly can. He's been known to do it. He's not too far out of it. He's only in 32, and remember, we got guys that are up 33 spots or 30 spots right now. Brock Savalti's up in 30th right now. He started in third. He started in third. He started 30th. He's in third. I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting a tongue twister on me. All right, back to the green flag action. Here we go. Eddie Morris back on the fire, back on the momentum. Field will work their way down and around. Firing them off here. We're just about ready to reach halfway point now as the progression continues to go through. Driver is getting a little bit antsy back there, looking to maybe make a few moves here, make a few runoffs. So up a couple spots here and moving to the change. Everyone looking for a run when they can and hoping to stay out of trouble when they ready to expect it. So moving to the change here. Jova Davidi here in the 83, up 8 spots. Had to move his way back into the field. Had to go a little bit way back down on the track side of things. As the rest of the groups continue to keep up the distance, keep up the change. The 48 of Ricky Gonzalez also doing what they can with the 26 of Blake Howell in that hunt as well. Mike Kingsley, the 8 driver, and the 27 of Hunter Collier. Maybe a lap down in this case here, but that doesn't mean for 1 minute he'll give out or give up. He wants still to have a chance and a possibility at hitting it up. And I apologize for anyone at home that's OCD like me and sees that scrollboard and that scoreboard literally moving all over the place on the left side again with this many drivers on the track. And in fact, I can literally take so many drivers out of the field here. Kinda does mess things up, and I will admit up front that it's not very pleasant on the eye. So I deeply apologize in advance. Putting them up here right at the moment here. Patrick McQuaid currently hitting the 7th place spot with David Keown right in front of him. 23 and 34 spots up respectively. The hard charge tonight obviously going to McQuaid. You can't beat 34 spots back when you were in 41st and moved it up this far in the chain. That's the beauty that lies with Daytona though and with Talladega, is that you're given so many chances to actually make some serious moves, some headways here as caution flies on out. See if we can take a look here and see if any of the guys here got involved in that little situation. Looks like I'm not getting a full-on word there. Maybe Jason Schilling that got involved in it. That's the only thing I'm getting word of. Either way, a caution flag is out once again. This is our 4th caution of the day. Field just trying to get cleared back in, trying to get everything taken care of here. Matthew Robinson, the 94, getting back at Nick Biddy in the 85, trying to hang in there. A lot of guys right now just trying to avoid the carnage and avoid troubles and traffic catastrophe in this case. They know there's a lot of madness going on. They know there's a lot of troubles out on the track, and I think they're just really at this point they're just looking to hunt and survive. The Graffon's mark of 99 of Alexander J. Graffon now going to be in the second place spot of Eddie Morris here in the 96, right up ahead of him. The 97 of Brock Savati and Jeremy Richmond, in the 98 and the 95 Aaron Brown, all in the playing field, all in the hunt. Pace car right now, I believe, has not led the most laps yet, so you can get that joke thrown out the window there, folks. It hasn't happened yet, and I don't think it's going to happen because I feel like these drivers are going to get things cleared up and get things settled back down a bit. They don't want to just come out here and race like this. They want to show you a true show and a good battle. No matter how many take the stage or take the field, they will run their tail ends off and bring everything they got to the table here. They're very well diverse in that, and they're very well known to do it. So it's going to be interesting to see what goes down and what transpires when they hit it up. For those that are new to our show as well, but I guarantee you there is a lot of racing that goes down on these circuits, on these tracks, with not just this league but other leagues, and we got plenty of great content to show you and plenty of great racing battles you can see here on our show. So if you haven't already, head over to our YouTube and subscribe there so you never miss a beat, you never miss a show that comes from this channel or in the live sessions actually from live YouTube. We do have a few live YouTube shows coming up Sunday night, as we have two of them to be exact, Joe Sixpack Racing League, as well as for the first time ever the Sport Compact Association Racing League are going to bring out onto the dirt series the new Hyundais and Hondas for a little front wheel drive action. So you better stay tuned for that one. That will be live exclusively on our YouTube, and we'll have the Facebook version afterwards. But let's be honest, y'all are really going to probably want to watch it live and then and there to see what they can bring to the table. And if you haven't already, here, of course, here on our Facebook, most of our live broadcasts come from this end. So if you want to hit our like and follow, subscribe button, or hit our like and follow button here, it surely does help the channel out. It helps us as a group and helps us out with the team. It lets us know we're doing our job right, and we know you are entertained as much as we can. So if you can, please do hit that button if you feel free and feel the need, and we'll keep on working out and keep on trying to make things much better as we go along for the ride. All right, at the moment though, currently field ready to back it up and fire this one back down. A little bit of a deja vu, kind of a switch up here from last week's racing we had here. Two great solid heats and then a big main event after the B main, and now a bit of a change up here around the track. On back around the track zone. Here we go, back up through the field, and we're back to the action here. Green flag back on out. And all the drivers just trying to make something work and make it go towards their way a little bit. Maybe find a bit of a go around or a bit of some do here. .42 laps in, 100 to go. Well, 42 laps in, not 100 to go, but a 42 of 100 here in this field. Halfway point coming up at about 9 laps. We saw a minute ago here with that 53 and Nicholas Panico having a little bit of company behind him in the face of Carl Handwerk. And by the way, Carl Handwerk, your #1 qualifier here tonight, got caught up in a bit of an issue there on that front straightaway, and now just completely taking it all in stride and putting up a fight. Savannah still rooting on her man, that Nick, and that #5 machine currently, he's still hanging in there. Trying to push the chains, trying to push the lows up here a little bit. We got some drivers being pushed around a little bit more to shove than we realize here. The 8 here right at the moment of Mike Kingsley trying to stay out of trouble, but also trying to find a way down to the bottom end to get some run down there. Has a little bit of a hiccup though because he's dealing with that 85 machine of Nick Biddy. Biddy gets right down below the line onto the zone. Manages to avoid and sway his way around. Got himself out of a tricky little situation, out of a problematic little zone there. Great drive by his end and great control on the corners. The man beast William Mann Jr. also making a little bit of a head scratching maneuver here to get right fight into the zone. CJ Roberts, though, the onboard camera here just gives you just a good idea of what he's going through, what he's mentally dealing with in that car. He's got a lot of things going on right now. He's got the trouble of trying to figure out a way to pass cleanly and trying to fast without really pushing too much to shove. He's also trying to find a way to really kind of keep himself under control while keeping a close eye on how hot the car gets and how hot he's getting into that car. Remember, these things are not exactly the easiest to breathe in. These things get upwards of temperatures of up to 90 plus degrees, over 100 degrees sometimes. And that's including the fire suit and your gloves and your helmet, as well as just the overall car itself. That thing can get hot in there, especially in that Daytona hot sun. I would not want to be any of these drivers right now having to deal with that. No way. Wheeler and Roberts though, upside, top side here. With the man beast, William Mann Jr. and the 28 right below them there, coming on down that back straightaway though, and still the single file line draft continues on. Drivers I don't think are worried about making too big of moves or too chaotic of moves until really probably about that last half when you see them get about 20 to go, 10 to go. I think by then that's really when everyone's going to be a little bit more push to shove, more on the running floor and on down the track side. They can bring a lot of momentum to their game and bring a lot of planning out. That certainly will be the case here, but can they keep doing it? Into the corners now, right at this moment. Everyone's still finding a grip, finding a line. No one giving out just yet here. It's just really anybody's guess who can really hang in this. So many drivers obviously came in here tonight looking to start their season off strong. Somebody came in here looking to bring everything to its limits, bringing the pedal straight down into the metal. But here at Daytona, we've known very well before that if you try to test and dare test his strengths and weaknesses, you may find yourself on the receiving end of one of them here. Terry Milliam there in the number 27. You're going to be put back a few spots here as he gets right up there with Bailey Gelinas. And that 78 NH machine number 4 Mustang. Onboard camera here has Mellum right now trying to stay on that yellow line at least, or not go necessarily below it, with a lot of drivers right in front of him just kind of holding their end down. Just a good look also just to see the inside of this next gen cup car. If you guys ever wanted to study cars or study how they look inside, here's a good way for you. Just simply get onto iRacing and just get a camera angle, just get a camera around the car and look around the entire section. It's pretty how realistic it actually looks. on multiple fronts and multiple ways. It definitely just ain't eye candy like certain other platforms around here. I will say that much. It is that legitimate feel. It's a legitimate sim. It just, you get all that grip, all that momentum. You really test your limits and test your boundaries and your waters here when you race out. Well, right now anyway, unless something changes, I really don't see that top 5 making a big boozer. Try to really drive this thing in or try to charge up anyone on the spot. Like, I think a lot of guys right now just trying to just keep everything under control and not necessarily ruin their entire race. They know it's been a long race so far, but with so much time left on the clock and so much really to play down with it, makes for some incredibly tough decisions and a lot of big handling moves around this circuit. TJ Roberts and Terry Mellum right now just kind of left high and dry. They were left all alone. They got put back into their little place. I think they got put in a timeout here from the draft because they did not like to have them anywhere near it, which I think is kind of rude here to do to them because, I mean, they didn't do anything else other than try to race. See a little bit of movement on the bottom end and on the top side is the 84 here. That is Cliff Corvia Jr. having TJ Dana right up ahead of him, trying to move up the chains. You can see the Mullen man, Robert Lawrence, trying to work with the 22, and Mike Savonsky here right now looking to keep himself in check and in line, but you can see the draft going and fading away, or is it? He's got a little help now. Looks like coming up from the top side as the yellow flag pops back on out here. Driver's just getting ready to make some moves and make some changes here. And unfortunately, our caution flag flying on out. I do not believe we're going to be able to get a look at this one here. No confirmation from the producers here. It looks like there is going to be a halfway point caution, so that will pretty much be the set of stage break here. I believe this halfway is at least completed, though. So with the field kind of strapping back down, tighten the belts up a little bit more, and more racing to be had here, of course, here on the BackFire Sim Racing season opener here at Daytona. Interesting just to see and just really bring to light just how tough it is for these drivers to really keep up themselves, but also stay out of trouble, if you will. Looks like there might be a little bit of trouble down there for the 85. It looks like it's okay. Bailey Janellis right now looks like he's alright. Nick Biddy, though, it seems like he might have a little bit of a problem in the 85 machine. Looks like he's trying to get it down to pit road to get it cleaned up a bit. And there's definitely a problem going on right beside him there, as the 78 Bailey Janellis definitely has a little bit of a problem on that front end. The car seems to be hit and broke. So field going into pit road, and the one that stays on out will be that 48 of Ricky Gonzalez, breaking a little bit of that throwback to the 80s style cars. Got the 80 paint scheme, kind of that styling like rocking the Millennium, the 80s scheme that they did. Pretty awesome looking ride here. And speaking of awesome looking rides, looks like we're gonna have a little company. Got it back up for Carl Haywork in the 51. as he'll put the Chevrolet back into the fight and into the fray. Handwork earlier on, had a great qualifying lap and a real tough time staying out of trouble territory and out of problematic territory, because these guys gave him a run for his money, a little bit of problems and maybe a few headaches in between. But that's all behind him now, and now he has a chance to really fire him up and straighten this thing up a little bit. Alright, so double filing back up, get him back into position here, and I think everything will kind of settle back down, hopefully a little bit, I would presume. Still a lot of racing to be had, still a lot of guys trying to make or break this one here. The field stretch back in, double filed up, and this is what we like to see here on PTM Racing TV. Everyone ready to chop the charge and hit the hard boot on the camera side. The racing is not over yet, and neither is tonight's action. Marking it back out of corner number 4 this time by. See if maybe I get the cam to work this time. Nope, I still can't get that darn cam to work. I was hoping by now I'd be able to get it to work here. I have a camera down there that's set for the flag view here, but unfortunately we do not have a way to access it. I think it had something to do with the fact that our car camera kind of messed things up a little bit. I'm trying to I'm yelling at the producers here, folks, to get that fixed. I promise you that much, but unfortunately, I just don't think I have a way to get it fixed. So on the restart, 45 laps will remain here as we get ready to fire them back down here at BackFire Sim Racing season opener, and I guarantee you, come next week, it probably will be a little bit more of an interesting kind of deal here, because they're not going to have the big speedways to worry about. No. They're going a little short track and racing here. Rockingham Speedway comes up next week. And then Auto Club Speedway here on the 28th, with Pocono Raceway on the 4th of February, and then my favorite track on the list, North Wilkesboro Speedway on the 11th. And I guess you guys could probably guess why that's my favorite track, because again, number 1, it's a short track. Number 2, we're putting Next Gen Cup cars on there, which we've not done yet, so I am extremely excited to see what happens there, what they bring to the table. All right, now the field about to get set back into motion, about to get sent back down on the track side of things, looking to maybe make a run for it here. We'll see it now with the later cautions here and the later laps kind of bolstering up. Maybe if some of these drivers are going to try and maybe pull off some harder racing, some harder deals here, it's going to be definitely a bit of a testament of challenge and strength and persistency when it comes to making it work here. Riding him off out of turn number 4 to the green flag restart zone. Here we go. Facing their gap, facing their momentum here, and you gotta already understand that a lot of the folks that were up ahead earlier, they're gonna be pushing and shoving here. There's definitely a lot of teamwork help going through this field. Eddie Morris and Alexander J. Kerfon back into the race lead. Thanks to that little push and shove there off of turn number 2 in the back straightaway. The 48 of Ricky Gonzalez gonna have to try to hopefully hang on for dear life here, try to get that draft to work in his favor. The fresh set of tires and some fuel limits now put up on for grabs. It definitely makes things a little bit more difficult as a driver and a little bit more difficult as a competitor to really make this car to bend at your will and bend out on the track. Obviously, we don't live under the Dale Earnhardt senior days anymore, so speed is really the biggest issue. Not really there. The biggest issue is just kind of keeping up a draft partner and keeping up with the controls of the car. Riding a back through, down on the ends they go once more here off of turn number 3 into 4. You can see a little bit of a bottom lane shift in the twist. Outside though is doing everything they can to maybe get one little help, one little big push in there. As they go 3 wide soon here, and once again Carl Handwork here trying to get out of that package deal. He does not want anything to do with another bump and jump and draft and pack here, and just again stuck in that big spot there. That 3 wide salute could be easily the worst end of your spectrum. It could be the worst thing to happen to you if you're not careful. You know, he's very well aware of that too, because he's ended up tagging a few of the guys here as we got one spinning right off the front end here. Couldn't quite get a car on that one here. I'm trying to see if we can see. We do not have a car in total. I do not know who spun out, who wrecked there. Unfortunately, I was trying to see at that moment. Looked like it might be DJ Daniel that was involved in the wreck here. Bailey Janellis here and Nicholas Penkico and Jova Davidi all hanging up here. Paul Owens, Pierce Maffett, yeah, trying to hang on, if you will. Pierce Maffett, I am honestly surprised he's even still in this fight, still in this race after that huge little lick and wreck he suffered there. Greg Zay, they're coming on board saying, I stick with my OSP boys tonight. All our boys racing also come on down saying, glad to see multiple Lions and ran around. Then the Lions ran around the top. Yeah. Yeah, all our boys. I remember when you guys brought your cars out there, you was having trouble time really getting that top side to work. Now it seems like we can't get away from that top side or the bottom lane when they want to. Past halfway and now reaching the 40 lap marker here. We're running out of laps. We're running out of time here. We'll see what goes down though as the field starts to progress in just a little deeper. Guys getting pretty aggressive here. Guys trying to find some opportunities when they can and strike harder when they get it. Down the back end here, double filing them up here. You got a laundry list of drivers trying to hammer in. Guys like Harrison Mitchell, Christian Rose, Bryce Cowell, Chris Papa, Cliff Corvette Jr., Anthony Zirkle, Nick Biddy, Robert Lawrence, Bronson Stafford, Mike Savatsky, and even Hunter Collier. They're all in that big pack draft up field. Papa Beast coming on board saying, I'm back. Hey, Papa Beast, how you doing, man? We'll see him come Sunday night here when he runs Atlanta Motor Speedway with the Pedal Motor Racing League, which I remind you folks at home, Sunday night will be probably my hardest call I've ever had to do in my lifetime, because I got 4 calls we're going to do from not just YouTube but Facebook side of things as well. 2 on YouTube, 2 on Facebook. It all goes down Sunday night, so we're definitely in for a treat there. Mixture of dirt and oval racetrack kicks in. Oh my goodness, the big one strikes though out of turn 3 and 4. Multiple cars in that. Oh, the Mullet Man. I don't know where the heck he's going, but he's going for a ride there. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. He didn't just get sent to the shadow round. He got himself to the upper room. Oh my gosh. Just hard lick there, hard wreck there, coming off that corner. Let's find out what happened though to the pack up front. Then we'll take a look at the Mullet Man's end. But here's what happened here. Big runoff here. Robert Lawrence gets a big piece of the 85, and there's what happened to Robert. He actually started that whole collision course, and everyone getting caught up in it. There you see the 83 just kind of tagged in here, and Robert, I don't know how the heck he is still moving and he is okay, but that had to have hurt, and I know as well as anything, he is not happy in that car right now, knowing that that had happened. He does not want to try to do this to anybody, much less anyone. And this was just that unfortunate circumstance there that just kind of happened. Found himself in the wrong place at the wrong time, and next thing you know, just wonder where the heck he went. Yeah, that's when you know you're probably done for. You heard the motor go there. That was his 34 ride there. Unfortunately, taking a bit of a downfall and a twist and a turn. So he did get it into pit road, but by the toe, so that will slow him down a bit. Dusty Barbell, I know it might not be the time to join here, my friend. Jad's saying the racing looks great. Yeah, so far it's been pretty good here tonight. Obviously, BackFire Sim Racing really trying to bring out their A game and bring out their best, and they are doing that and then some. It might have scraped the track ceiling. Yeah, I don't know if there's a track ceiling down there. Stephanie Spence saying, "Yikes!" Yeah, you have no idea. I've been in that car before. I know what it's like when you get flipped upside down and put for a ride like that. It does not feel good. And that's not just incorporating what you feel in your actual car itself in the virtual world. You're literally, your whole rig shakes. Your wheel just completely goes dead on you. It's a scary thought. Just completely, everything just changes. You can't feel nothing. Nevertheless, though, the field will rise back up and put him back out. Harrison Mitchell also hanging in there, giving himself a little bit of a breathing room or two. You gotta wonder about a guy like him. He's up 16 spots going up against a guy like Robert Kenny in that 10 SimSpeedShop.com. Well, he's up 32, and then even Tom Bourne 35 spots. Y'all talking about hard charging from the outhouses all the way to the White Houses. I don't think you get any more than that. That is absolutely crazy. That is insane to even think of. Driving him along now. Looks like double filing him back up. Looks like drivers are going to be set in motion yet again. Yeah, I think they know as well as anything. They want to keep going. They want to keep fighting it out there. They don't want to stop now. Pace now set in motion, field ready to drive back out onto this track side and on the Spark circuit here. This mile-and-a-half tri-oval design here at Daytona International Speedway has been a track full of history, track full of big names that have walked its plains and walked its doors, and just a month from now, we will see the best and the brightest drivers return to this illustrious land and all that. For some hard racing and more to come. Charles Whitehead saying, "What up, PTM Charles? Good to have you back on board as we bring the grain back on out." Drivers are fired away yet again. And just confirmed just a little bit earlier today as well that, yeah, the Los Angeles Coliseum really has now been looking more and more like the Los Angeles Coliseum for the race that they'll bring in the real world as well as the virtual world. And I'm just going to say this right now to any promoter out there or anyone that wants to help us out a little bit. Please, 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 when iRacing Los Angeles Coliseum comes out, please give us a show there. My goal is to show every track, every car, every series, everything on the tracks, on the site, on the circuits here on PTM Racing TV. That is my ultimate goal before I retire. I want to show every car, track, anything. Doesn't matter if it's one car track combo or if it's anything like that. Just as long as you show them once on the show, then my goal is complete. That I can finally retire in peace. I know it's kind of a crazy goal, but believe me, I just want to see what happens. What can we get? We've seen some of those mile-and-a-half speedways like the Texas Road Course being put on the show, and that's actually given us a heck of our results we didn't even think of. If you don't believe me, just ask the Zanny fan Great Zanzik in the comments section. Ricky Gonzalez in the 48 now, dealing with a little bit of power-hungry drivers as Mike Savansky in the 22 and the 12 of Terry Mellon also right in that playing field. The 53 of Nicholas Penico with TJ Roberts in the 11 and Paul Owens also kind of managing and handling it off the ends here through turn number 4. All drivers trying to find openings when they can, trying to find some places to get into when they get it. Right head, Charles, I talked earlier to Brockhead and I told him point blank we cannot let anyone else in here already in the broadcast booth. We have to go, we not have the confirmation from the promoters to do that, so we're going to leave them alone. Just about saying Brock 97. Well, he's running on obviously a 97 machine here, which is Brock Savazzi. And Savazzi, man, I'll tell you one thing, 30 spots up tonight, hard charger for sure. Not the ultimate hard charger, but definitely a fine one at its peak. At its peak and at its performance, trying to knock down Alexander J. Kerfon and Eddie Morris here. While their number 1 hard charger, Tom Bourne and Robert Kinney, 36 and 34 respectfully, hanging in the 7-8 spot as caution lights fly back on out. We got troubles down here once again. And not getting a word where it came from, although I presume there's probably a bit of damage on some of these guys here. Logan Harmon, the 15, see a bit of right side damage on his end. Unfortunately, car beaten, battered up a bit, not really doing up to tip-top shape like I would think it would. So field right now, currently just struggling to survive and struggling to stay out of trouble, unfortunately. And a lot of it just has to do with that car as well as just their overall driving mentalities. Again, you're putting a bunch of guys out here that have many good experience, many good driving styles, some teams to help work around, some other things going down on the track. And then you got a car that really involves around a lot of teamwork, a lot of pushing, shoving, and a lot of help when you can. This isn't exactly the easiest dilemma to have to fight up against and really hang on with. So what these drivers are handling and dealing with right in this moment truly is a testament of their patience and their work they're bringing to the table here. Field ready to fire and back up, ready to rock and sock and fight them out again. So much hard racing, so much really going on again, and they're really just, it's a testament to how controllative and how understabilized these drivers know they must be and what they have to work around. It's not the easiest to have to deal with what they deal with and what they struggle with, but again, the fact that they're even still in this hunt, they're still in this fight out right now, That just really is a testament of patience and control. The field is ready to go back down to it, ready to get back to this action-packed night. 30 laps remain. You know, with only 30 left, that could really make some of these guys kind of question whether or not teamwork is going to be enough to hold these guys back a few spots. They will charge up with whatever they can, get whatever they can of a run too with it. This is an interesting situation as a driver, as a fellow broadcaster. I will say, you know, this is a moment in time where you just kind of got to look at yourself in the mirror and say, do I go for it or do I back off? You know, is it worth it or is it not? That's kind of the dilemma, and it's an extremely coursing dilemma because it can really be a blasphemy of just control and stability, or it could be your worst nightmare come to life and you wouldn't even realize it. We're about to find out what happens here right now on PTM Racing TV as the driver's getting right back off of the corners there of turn number 4. Back in place and back online. Coming back onto the green star reflex zone. We are back underway once again, and the action is about to kick up a little bit more. 30 laps remain. It's time to see who can hang on for this one. And pretty much kind of how we started it from a while back here to now how we are now. It's same ordeal, same situation here. Eddie Morris, Alexander, Jake Herfon, the leaders. And just pretty much staying out of problematic zones and staying out of troublesome territory. Some of the other guys going to move it through the field, going to move it through the chains as well. Maybe looking to make a run for it here. Call those problems down there, unfortunately. Here, oh, there's major problems. We got a huge wreck here off of turn number 3. Caution flag back on out here. 8th caution of the night. Mike Savansky, Robert Kennedy, Cliff Corbier Jr. Oh, man, a lot of these guys involved in that one. That was a huge lick. Take a look, see what we can take a look at this one. Looked like everything just kind of got all out of place here and all out of control. And these drivers didn't even have a chance to get up in front of it. Looks like the 10 might have, gotten taken for a ride here. The 84 clips him. Once he got his wings clipped, you can see the field just kind of packed in there and everyone else crashing around. Everyone all over the place in a huge wreck ensues there. That is a huge situation. A bad break there, unfortunately, for all those involved in that one here. Definitely not what you want to see from Clifford Corbier or any of them. It's certainly not what you want to see from any of the BackFire Sim Racing boys. They really are having a tough time staying out of trouble tonight, though. That's a darn shame, too, because really, they've had some great battles and some great races here on PTM Racing TV, but this one, unfortunately, has been really a testament of survival and conquering when you can. So, right at this moment, 73 laps have been down on the tally marker. They've been put down on the spreadsheet on the paper, and now it's time to see who is going to be able to work this way off around and into position. And Savannah, if you're wondering where your boy is right now, well, that 5 is the one currently swinging that thing left and right and on around, back on track and back onto town. I think he's ready to go back at it again here as Bronson Stafford, the only Canadian here, looking to hopefully find a way to survive and conquer. Maybe knock down the guys a few spots here and maybe knock down the drivers a few more ends, but he'll have to take on Nick Biddy in that 85. Biddy got into a bit of trouble earlier here, but it seems like things have been A-okay since then. Number 60 here, Joey Chapman. Looks like he's been kind of having a few issues here, dilemmas popping up from time to time, but he still is hanging out and racing there with the guys. Paul Owens, Bailey Janellis, Nick Shriver, Bronson Stafford, and Nick Biddy are your top 5 at the moment. As it looks like Janellis and Howell are going to go in. They'll head into pit road, try to see what they can bring to the table for the last bit of the run. The lights are off though on the pace car, and I think that maybe they're expecting possibly another caution to fly back on out, maybe give them a little bit of breathing room. Hard to really know for sure. Charles Whitehead, Peter F. Savalti, and William Mann all going for their positions. Some love for the man, Beasley Mann Jr. He's not exactly out of this one just yet. He's actually in the 16th spot at the moment. And then, of course, we saw Nick Shriver's up in the 3rd spot. It's Brock Savalti putting it in the 6th, 7th place area. The 6th place run right now. If he's going to do any big moves, he's going to have to start figuring things out a little bit quicker than later, because this is right now a huge lineup of field drivers trying to hopefully put their name in a game. Nick Owens saying go Nick, and the number 5 should pull him in to talk. No, I will at the end of the race here. If the top 3 can survive and conquer this one, I will talk with the top 3 drivers. I'm technically under contract, not allowed to bring any of the guys in throughout the race, so be aware of that here as we bring them right back down to the track side of things. Here we go once again. We've got about 26 laps remaining here at Daytona, and Nick Biddy just found himself the start of the night. He got himself so far ahead, I think these guys are going to have a little bit of a tough time kind of catching back up with him. Looking to make it stick and looking to make it rain here with the field progressing through. Every driver for themselves here as they bring it down that elongated back straightaway. 2.5 miles in length with a whole lot of runs in between. Oh no! Nick Shriver right up ahead, got the race lead, and then sent back to the shelter on the 2nd time tonight. Unbelievable. He had everything going right, and then everything went completely wrong. This is not exactly what you wanted to see, in just case if you're any of the fans of his, with the Daytona wise, so this is unfortunately kind of the circumstances you get led up to. And he is stuck there off turn 3. He cannot get out of there. Parked it right in a bad spot there, and he's trying to get it out. You can see him revving that motor up, trying to move it, but it just won't go. It won't budge, and he'll have to put it in pit road. What a tough break, and not the season start he was looking for by any means, especially not after this one. Look at him get a good charge here. He had a run on Biddy here. Look at this. Comes right off. Here's the pass. He's lined it up, and not enough. Biddy just would not let him by, and you know, as a driver, obviously you're not supposed to let him by, but I mean, unfortunately there for Shriver, that was definitely not what he was expecting, and I think not what he was hoping for at any means. You gotta defend your line, you gotta defend your drive, and unfortunately, Nick learned the hard way. So Biddy will have one less to deal with, I suppose. Here in the 85, he'll have, it's really, if you want to talk about the ultimate of hard chargers, 44th he started. He is right now your race leader. I've never seen here on PTM Racing TV ever anybody start any further back than the 37th position and win the race. If Biddy can do this, this will be the first time ever anyone on our show has ever won from that spot, in that place, in that position. It would be an extreme first, and maybe a wild first to say the least. So the field stretched back out, everyone just kind of settling back down again, and really, this has been an all-out war zone for drivers alike and folks really watching from the grandstands and everyone here in the show. Over 80,000 in attendance today, as we are currently watching on nearly a sold-out crowd. Over 100,000 could be fitted into this place. 80,000 coming out, taking their time out of their day to watch some hard racing, some hard battling and fights on the zone. We have certainly seen that, and then some, and some great cold-hearted moments and some great fighting positions and fighting on the racetracks. Double filing back up now, and Biddy and Paul Owens will be your two front row drivers with about 22 laps remaining. Anybody's guess who's going to be able to make a move off this one, and who's going to be able to hang in here. You hear the roar of the motors, you hear the roar of the crowd. These guys love their racing. They love these big 2-ton heavy machineries. They want to see more action. They want to see more battles go on display. We could certainly see that and then some. Off of corner number 4 this time by race fans. We'll get them lined back up in position for you. We'll get them right back into field play here. Every driver for themselves. Everybody looking to pour on the momentum and pour on the battles that rage ahead. Here we go, back to the green flag restart zone. We are back underway here for more BackFire Sim Racing action in the Next Gen Cup Series. Right on the spot, right out of the position here. Kerfan right now working to make the move off Paul Owens and bring his team up to the front. Nick Biddy, though, having one thing left to say about that. Paul Owens right in the mix, in the fight as well. So much at stake and so much to really bring at its fullest potential, at its hit here. So much chaos, so much controversy going on here from the race side of things, and that's been kind of the story here, is just who can really bring out and survive and hope for the best here. The season opener has been chaotic and it has been something to say the least, but that's what makes it fun in the end. And with the short tracks coming up very soon on our schedule, you know, as well as anything, we've got a lot more on stake and online. Race fans, 20 laps remain here for BackFire Sim Racing. Coming from the end of the outhouse and the sugar cups of the White House, where you see everybody looking for momentum when they can get it. Trying to find some speed and transform themselves up ahead. Bronson Stafford now looking to get back to the bottom lane. It's got a blocked. Oh no! Jeremy Richmond now is going to go for a huge ride on the back straightaway. Takes a few drivers with him. Tom Bourne going with him. Looks like that's Blake Howell, Carl Hendrick also. Handwork, excuse me, getting out of that one. Mike Kingsley gets cleared in there. Hunter Collier also tagged in, and oh my goodness. 10th caution of the day. And right at this moment, man, I'm not even sure really what to expect or what we're gonna see. All I know is, one way or another, there's just pure chaos beginning to happen. Let's see if we can take a look here. Jimmy Richmond got a little bit cornered out there. Looks like he might have got taken for a ride there. Oh man! Scariest thought to hear, and the scariest thing you'll see whenever you get on that track is literally hearing that noise and that scrounging here. Looks like the 27 of Collier is the one that got Mr. Richmond here. Let's see if we can see right there. You can see a little bit of movement. Oh yeah, it looks 67 there. I take it back, it was not Collier. The 67 was driven by Harrison Mitchell, so Harrison was the one that clips Richmond of his wings and clips him of his speed and gets him sent back out of here. Wow. Well, from 20 to go to, I believe we'll have about 16 or 17 laps remaining on the restart. Next driver now joining us here real quick in the comments section. Now, Nick, I know, Nick, good to hear from you there, sir, and a bit of a tough break there for you, bud, to say the least. And you gotta wonder, it's just more we're getting closer and closer to the end. Will they be able to hope for the best and hope for survival? Because this thing is right now getting absolutely out of hand and a bit crazy to say the least. But that's the thing that we see all the time. It's just really what boils down to control of the corners, control of consistency. It really brings home the fact that these drivers are racing for not just obviously their pride and their sponsors and their drivers and their tracks, but in their teams. But they're also really racing with the mindset of also getting further in this field, further in around the tracks and the side of these things here. There's just so much going on. It's so much really to play out with. There are more to be had. There are more to show. We're nowhere near done yet, folks. Not quite. 17 to go. This next time by, it'll be 16 laps left. Will they be able to hammer down and really bring these cars to the finish line, at least in one piece, I wonder. They've been tearing up so much equipment here tonight, man. I mean, a lot of these guys are just completely in and out of this race here. They're gone and completely done. Rather more man Lawrence, Robert Kennedy, Chris Wheeler, Anthony Zirkle, Nick Shriver, Terry Mellum, Nicholas Panico, DJ Daniel, Mike Savonsky, Logan Hartman, TJ Roberts, Cole Martin, Daxton Stokes, Joe Davidi, Wes Fuller, Jason Schilling. They're all just taken out or destroyed. They've not left any of them. Those that are left on the track, they're pretty much just hoping to survive and conquer here. Bring them right back around at corner number 4. We'll bring everyone to their feet, to their strengths and their weaknesses here. Green flag back on out. And it's time to see if we can crown ourselves a winner here tonight. 16 laps left to go. Roundabout out of turn number 1. And now through the field into the pacing zones. Every driver for themselves here. Down on the back straightaway here. Everybody looking for opportunities when they can. Looking for moments when they can get going. They're just hoping and praying they can get it good. Heavy Spence saying, let's go number 8. The number 8, yes indeed. That being driven by Mike Kingsley is not out of this one yet. Still has a possible chance. And it looks like maybe trying to get the outside line to bank up a little bit and kind of bark up a few trees here. Maybe see if they can get something to work around here. But it does not seem to be working in their favor here. Everyone else seems to want to stay towards the bottom and just complete the laps and complete the corners. Nick Biddy right now playing the shoe that we saw earlier on that was being handled and controlled by Kerfan as well as Morris. Eddie Morris right now in the 8th spot, and really a bit of a shocker here. His pit strategy may not have came out the way I think he was hoping for. I think that might be kind of head him up a few, maybe taking him down a few notches and really making him feel just a little bit more upset about it. Right around off the corner ends here. 14 to go now, pushing through the field. We're not done with this one yet, but there is some movement back in the field here. You see, it looks like the Man Beast wants to try to somehow, some way make a charge off these guys, but he's going to get left high and dry and nowhere to go. Behind all of them here, looks like Christian Rose and Clifford Coivier Jr. Also looking to hope for maybe make a little bit of a splash. Nathan Beauregard in the 60 of Joey Chapman. Trying to keep it with Daniel Keown, Hunter Collier in this big field of drivers. You can see that last draft pack, that last half, hoping to just survive and conquer. With 13 laps left to go, though, it's anybody's guess who's going to be able to bring this one home. So much on the playing field, so much left on the track. A little bumping and shoving close to the corner ends off of turn number 2. Every driver for themselves and everyone getting a little piled up in between, looking to hang in there. Right on the outside, Chris Pop on the 13, then the 26 of Blake Howell right in there with it. Bailey Janellis right in the fight as well. Everyone looking for what they can and what they can get. 12 laps to go. My, oh my, folks, this has been an absolute wild shootout and a bit of a wild get around from these drivers. No one giving up and no one giving in. They just simply want to survive and conquer if it's possible here. No one done just yet here. Oh, a little bit of movement down to the bottom, trying to push their way in. You see Ricky Gonzalez almost getting sent for a shadow realm trip there. Chris Papa looked like he was trying to get in between there with that 6-7 of Harrison Mitchell. Mitchell kind of defended the line though and blocked Papa from making the big move. Well, the 94 here, Matthew Robinson, trying to hang in just a little bit. He's 18 spots up, still doing everything that's possible here. The roar of these 750 horsepower beasts just being put on display. Of course, tonight they run the 550 horsepower packages. That's kind of the reason why they're having a hard time kind of getting around one another. But at the same time, makes for kind of an interesting dilemma, an interesting race spot. Forces drivers to do different things, forces them to really make a change and make a little bit of a situation work from their favor. Here we go now, final 10 laps here. Final 10 in the sky, and if you're a driver right now, your first thought is, okay, enough of this playing around stuff. We got to figure this out. For Paul Owens, he's going to work with Biddy as long as he can. Biddy trying to hopefully survive and edge out a victory here at Daytona if it's possible. Owens and Savati may shift and jump into a trade here if they make a move. Can they go for the big move of doom, or will they be kind of put in their place? That remains to be unseen. The 77 of Bratchett McQuay coming up, cornering off, kind of giving her everything she's got, hanging on for dear life here. So much on the line, so much at stake here. These drivers do not want to give out. They do not want to give in, but they know that if they don't do something quickly, they're going to have a lot of trouble on their hands. Watch out for Carl Handwork, though. Carl Handwork in the 51, he saw him push to shove and push the front. Ricky Gonzalez got a little help there and really make his way around, but unfortunately, his little teammate partner there unfortunately would not help him out. Bailey Janellis just kind of throwing it right back into the bottom lane and up ahead of him. Eddie Morris looking to get his team to go to the outside, looking to make the draft back work. Here he goes, where we got to run off of the turn 3. Savalti managing to hold Paul Owens ahead of the field and ahead of the charge. Now it's Paul Owens, their new leader. And with only so much laps remaining, they know they can't be making mistakes now. They're going to have to try to keep pushing to shove to the run. Biddy, Morris, McQuaid, and Brown all up on the top and top shelf. Guys on the bottom shelf just trying, I think, to stay off that yellow line and stay out of a problematic situation. If they are not careful, they can end up finding themselves in much more than just a shadow realm. They can find themselves in a whole lot of area problems. So much online, so much playing into this field. Paul Owens, look at him just block and defend, doing everything he can, just trying to hold on. Oh, but a big bump there by Savalti sends the whole back into a field wreck. We got a huge wreck coming off of turn number 2. Oh my goodness. The big one strikes, and it strikes with a fiery vengeance straight from the depths below. Oh my goodness. That last block might have done up a few more than just a few drivers. That one might have completely taken everyone for a ride of their life. Smoke burrowing out of the transmission to most of these guys. The engine smoke coming out as well. There's the only thing we can do here, and let's take a look at the PTM Racing replay. We're going to take it from the chopper cam here. This one is a wild, frenetic move, and this is the move that they were trying to do. They were trying to get ahead. Look at Paul Owens, though, blocks the run. And the 97 of Brock Savati just gets sent straight out of here into the shadow realm they go. I'm seeing 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9 drivers at least crashed out hard and destroying up some equipment. At least another 10 or 12 mixed in with it. Everybody took a lick on that one. Everyone took a huge hit and a huge break there. What a tough hit and a tough battle that these drivers are now having to face up against. Oh my goodness. I can say down below, everyone is okay. Drivers are all right. Just a wild bash and crash there, to say the least. And again, that's so hard to see, man. As a driver and as a fan, obviously, you never want to see anyone get put in that dilemma or put in that situation. And it's just when it comes like that and it comes in so quickly, it really changes your landscape, changes your mindset out in many regards, in many ways, because you just don't realize how bad it is until you make sure they're actually moving around, actually getting the car to work around the track. Thankfully, again, though, everyone is okay, and thankfully, drivers are set in motion and set in to really bring a finish here tonight. So at the moment here, the field is going to have pretty much a green-white checkered on their hands here. Even though they'll have about 3 laps remaining, that doesn't mean nothing again with these guys. So here we go, race fans. Double filed up, back in place, and back out for another track zone run. And man, what an absolute chaotic mayhem race this one has been from start to finish. Again, that's been kind of the thing for really a lot of things out here when it comes to racing this Daytona tracks and the Talladega tracks. But alas, there's still a field of drivers still in it to win it. And by I add, as well, there's some guys in here I was not expecting to really be in that top end here. Your top 10 at the moment: Paul Owens, Bronson Stafford, Bailey Janellis, Chris Papa, Blake Howell, the Man Beast, Lee Man Jr., Hunter Collier, Tom Bourne, Joey Chapman, and Nathan Bogart. They all have a possible chance at not only surviving and conquering Daytona, but also walking away with a W here. Yeah, by the way, Willie Man Jr., he wasn't even supposed to race tonight. He was literally working and filling in for an injured Charles Whitehead right now, as the Whitehead camps unfortunately having a bit of problems with their cars and their vehicles as well as themselves tonight. All the wounds won't heal, and they just could not heal in time. And as we progress through this one, it's time to finish out this hard-fought, long, drawn-out race. We have got 3 laps remaining. Who will come away the victor? Who can survive and conquer it all? On the restart zone, Paul Owens gets the start. Stafford, the lone Canadian, trying to knock down everybody as a caution flag flies. We're going to a green-white checker. We're going to a green-white checker. Trouble down there for Joey Chapman and a few other guys here. The 94, Matthew Robinson, Christian Rose, Robert Kenny, all of them getting involved in this one. And looks like, take a look at it from this angle here. We'll see what we can see with Joey Chapman here. Looked like they didn't even give off the start line here. Yeah, he did not get off the line. It got pushed to shove and pushed in out of the way. Everyone else trying to find a way around him. And I think he got pushed in a little too hard for his own good, and everyone else kind of clicking that around. That is a tough break and a darn shame to say the least to him. But now there's 2 green white checkers coming up. This has been a wild, wild race, and I really have no idea what the heck we're going to expect here on this last restart. I've tried to think of how we could expect it or how what could go down, but I think at this point, I think the drivers are just trying to figure out what else can get broken down on our cars tonight. These next gens aren't exactly cheap, you know. Drivers bringing them around the town and bringing them around the field. They know with only 2 green-white checkered attempts coming up, they are going to have to be careful about how they set this up here. They've been put in a troublesome spot. They've been put in some really tough ends of the spectrum, and really now they find themselves in the most unique of dilemmas and the most unique of situations. So this next go around, we should have lights turned off on the pace car, and then that will allow the drivers to regroup, reform, restructure, and figure this one out. Guys and gals that were involved in the major wrecks earlier now have one last chance at this. Some without a hood and some with just complete total annihilation on their cars. If they cannot get if they cannot get that second restart in, this race is over with and it's done. And I guarantee a lot of them do not want to end this race like that. They don't want to go out that way. So here we go. Paul Owens, Bronson Stafford, Chris Papa, Bailey Janellis, Hunter Collier, Blake Howell, Aaron Brown, William Mann Jr., Eddie Morris, Carl Handwerk, all in line and in pride to possibly knock this one down a few pegs. The hard charger now is Tom Bourne with 26 spots, with Blake Howell a close distance as well, as he's 26 up in the 26. Could get himself a win here if he can shoot in for a victory. And looks like the 95 of Aaron Brown is getting sent back to the Shadow Realm. He does not get to go up with the field. He'll have to go to the White House. Apparently the official's saying he's been a naughty boy. They'll have to let him by. Paul Owens, I'm kind of interested to know his strategy here of going to the outside like this. I know it's a choose his lane kind of move here, but I don't know if necessarily this is the best plan of attack, if you will. If I was him, I'd probably stick towards that inside line, try to maybe make a runoff from it. I think he's expecting the guys to get a little too aggressive out the start, really push up to that front end out of the gate. It'll be interesting to see here. The lights are going to stay on the pace car, though. Field will run their way back around one more time, and then we'll let them go green flag racing here. So here it is, race fans. Green, white, checkered attempt coming up, and one more lap or so. Pace car's lights still on. Again, driver's currently trying to either get fixed up and cleaned up, or they're trying to at least survive out here. By the way, there's only about 17 cars on the lead lap. Remember, we had about 48 we started tonight? Yeah. Bit wild to say the least. This has been absolutely a tremendously crazy race. But it has definitely been a thrillville for some drivers. And a bit off the rails for others, if anybody remembers that reference I just pulled up. Green, white, checkered attempt coming up here. We'll see if the pace car's lights come off this time by and let them on through. Paul Owens will go to the outside. Bronson Stafford takes the inside lane. Light is off on the pace car. They're going to let him go. Double filed up. The 1 to green. Next time by, they'll let him run. They'll let him fire down. And with this anxiety and the anticipation now kind of broiling over from this green, white checker, you got to make them wonder, you know, are they getting a little tensed up? Are they getting a little bit more antsy, a little more out of control here? The one thing you do not want to see or you do not want to be thinking about is that situation, that possible recurrence that could pop up here. It's been known to strike big a few times before. It's been known to really catch guys off target, off plan. Some of the best drivers can really make a work or two here, as Willie Van Jr. knows my little rule of thumb here, the old joke, the cone lines matter movement joke I've made a while back. He still seems to like taking that cone out just to spite me. I guess he had to do it for Charles Whitehead here in this case, rather than just myself. So, all right, I'll give him a pass there. But I don't know if Tech Expects is going to give him a pass on that front hood. How the heck is that still even running? Well, still works. It's still going good. So, hey, at this point, might as well keep just racing now. Paul Owens, Bronson Stafford will be the guys to watch out for here on the restart because they are the two front runners. They have one more green-white checker attempt if they cannot get this one in, but that's all they'll have left at their disposal. Somebody's going to walk away with a season opener win here, but which one will it be? Piling them off down out of turn number 4, down back to the green flag. Race start. We're back and at it here. Paul brings it down low. He saw them move the chains. Now looking to watch them go to the outside. Will they bring it in time? These drivers are going to be looking for any kind of opening, any kind of slingshot move or pass they can get here. They hang it down. They'll go one full lap into the back straightaway. Can they go the full distance and the full mile in here? The field seems to be kind of under control and seems to be a little more relaxed in. That's not saying much, though. They still have to at least get to that front of that finish line before they can really make a charge here. Ladies and gentlemen, they'll bring him around, and this time by, we're going to bring the white flag out with it. White flag is out now here for BackFire Sim Racing season opener here at Daytona. Which one will it be? Now there's going to be some heavy movement, some heavy driving around here. Some guys looking for some chances and making some moves or going off the corners. Paul Owens starting to run away from everybody as Bronson Stafford trying to back everybody down, but Bailey Janellis doesn't play that game. He goes to the outside, running for the battle, running for the field, running for the distance. Paul Owens sees him. He blocks. He gets shoved around a little bit coming off that turn 3. Got shoved in, shoveled in a little bit more though. Rick right off of turn number 4. Coming out turn 4, who's going to get out of this mess in time? Bronson Stafford escapes it. Hunter Collier's coming out of the line. They're going to try to trap package him off to the checkered flag. And it's going to be Bronson Stafford walking away with the W. Hunter Collier second. Third goes to Mike Kingsley. Yes, he will get it by merely a car link as he got just shoved right down to the end. Carl Hanwer could not get up in time, but Bronson Stafford could. He avoids the carnage and the mess at the end and somehow pulls off the W here at Daytona. And he's your season opener winner here on PTM Racing TV. Holy smokes. That is the unofficial results right now, but we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Not from Niagara Falls, Canada, the only driver that has literally shown the Americans up and the other drivers as well on this track, and yet again he'll pull up another W and a big win in all the right places for him and his crew. Fans cannot believe, they are in shock how crazy this was. The three countries represented literally in the top three of all things. Bronson Stafford representing Canada, Hunter Collier representing Australia, and Mike Kingsley representing for the American side of things. But how the heck did we even get to this point? How did this part even go? Well, it all really boiled down to that wild, chaotic finish from the ending here. And that is something in motorsports you can always expect to count on, is something crazy at the end. Let's take a look at now as our top results here. We'll go through the top 10. Bronson Stafford wins it out. Hunter Collier second. Third to Mike Kingsley. Fourth to Carl Handwerk. Fifth to Tom Bourne. Sixth to William Mann Jr. Seventh to Ricky Gonzalez. Eighth to Matthew Robinson. Ninth to Alexander Kerfan. 10th to Joey Chapman. An unbelievable finish, to say the least here, and really that's putting it mildly. This was a chaotic, crazy race from start to finish, but we be darned if this was not a fun one to call, and a crazy one at that, to the end, and especially to the destination that we were given. This is what it's all about, race fans, is these chaotic moments and these chaotic race scenes, and that certainly was one of them. We are now waiting for everybody to come on board, but let's take a listen in here. Here he is, your race winner at Daytona here for the season opener. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Bronson Stafford in the 61 here in victory lane. And Bronson, congratulations, man. 11 spots up tonight. And literally, the man that everyone's trying to knock down off the peg, you traveled all the way down from Canada to get here to Daytona in Florida. I know that trip probably was a little bit warmer down here, but I got a feeling you're probably feeling hot as it gets here in victory lane with this win.
Yeah, this what an adventure. that's all. It's what an adventure.
Yeah, if you literally, I'm gonna ask this real quick. You saw the big one come. These guys get into it, Paul Owens, and then right off of turn 3, the madness is about to start. And in your mind, what was your thought? Just go low, or would you just thinking, just hope for the best, and hopefully this car can somehow make it through alive?
Yeah, I saw him wrecking on the top, and I was like, I'm gonna shoot low because usually it'll go down and shoot back up, and that's kind of exactly what happened. Like, I did get nose damage in it, and honestly, I thought the 27 was maybe gonna get us because he got through that a little cleaner with not having to check up as hard. He was able to get like to the grass almost kind of thing to avoid it. But no, we were able to get it in a very unconventional way. But I mean, hey, a win's a win.
A win is indeed a win, my friend, and you are going to walk away with this one. So, Bronson, I must ask you, sir, you're taking away the W and the victory. Who do you want to thank here tonight for this one?
Definitely, the whole Sky Motorsports team. We tried our best to try and get linked up at some point. It never really came to, but we brought fast cars at least. So that's what counts. Obviously, league owners for putting this on. It was a little messy tonight, but I'm sure we'll iron out some things and try and do what we can going forward. I know Daytona's always bring big fields, so it's always a lot more pressure.
Yes.
But all that, and obviously you up here broadcasting it all by yourself.
For sure there. Well, Bronson, appreciate you coming on board, man. Thanks for your time, and congratulations. What a win, and representing Canada extremely well down here in Daytona.
Thanks.
Bronson Stafford, ladies and gentlemen, the lone Canadian tonight with the W and the victory, and a shock of all shockers, my friends. Just completely taking it home and taking it with stride. And I tell you, this man right here as well, Hunter Collier, did much of that and then some as well. How on earth he was able to stay out of that mess and not get the win is beyond me, but he is your he is your second place finisher in this race tonight. And he's getting me down here right now. Let's listen in here from Peak Racing, ladies and gentlemen. Here he is now, the number 27, Hunter Collier. And Hunter, congratulations, sir, on that second place finish. And boy, what a wild one this was to the end, sir.
Yeah, it was certainly an interesting race.
Certainly was indeed. So I'm gonna ask you this here: when you got kind of caught up in some of the off guard situations, kind of found yourself in a few bad spots out of the start, but the finish wise, obviously, it brought you to the end. It brought you to a serious position and a possible chance at victory. But what happened there, going off that tri-oval end of the front straightaway? Did you just lose a little bit of momentum to get around there with the 61, or what happened there?
All I remember happening is that everyone else wrecked out. I went down to the apron to avoid the wreck, and there was enough speed coming off. I want to reach the guy anyways. The stock up on these cars is a little bit hard to make it past on the final lap, so I was just happy to be there in the end.
For sure there, and happy to have you on board, representing for your countrymen as well down. Now, obviously, here I have to ask my friend, who do you want to thank you for this one tonight?
I'd like to thank First Page Media for sponsoring the ride tonight. I'd like to thank Peak Racing, Logan Hartman, Sean Mitchell, and Pierce Method for keeping it clean all race. And that's all I really have to say, honestly.
For sure there. All right. Well, nevertheless, your second place finisher here tonight, Hunter Collier here, coming off with a solid performance for his team and his friends here. Hunter, congratulations, my friend. Great to hear you from Peak Racing, sir.
All right, thank you.
Number 27 here, Hunter Collier coming on board here with a solid position and finish here tonight. We'll take it down here with Mike Kingsley as he comes away here with a solid third place finish somehow, some way, surviving the madness and surviving the chaos that brought it down here. And it was going to bring him in, but I do not believe he is actually with us tonight in the call list, so I'm going to go ahead. Oh, no, he actually is right there. Here we go with Sizemore Motorsports. Here he is now, ladies and gentlemen, piloting in the number 8. Comes out with a solid performance and finish here tonight. Kingsley, congratulations on a third place finish here, and you are the ultimate of hard charges tonight, my man. You got to go from 47th to this spot here. I got to believe you're a little bit ecstatic about that one. That's the most we've ever seen here on PTM Racing TV.
Yeah, it was a good run. I got a little bit lucky coming off of 4, but yeah, it would have been nice if I would have had my teammates in there tonight with me. 3 of them got removed because there wasn't enough room for the race, so it was just me and one other teammate tonight. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know that was a really long race and it was a caution fest. Not really type of race I'm used to. Best of luck to you as a broadcaster, and I'm done, bud.
All right, well, Kingsley, we do appreciate your time here, man, and congratulations on top 3, and hopefully sometime down the road we will hear from you and the crew here, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, your third place finisher here tonight, Mike Kingsley here in the number 8. He finishes off our race here in our season opener here tonight at BackFire Sim Racing. Thank you again, race fans, for tuning on in here. We appreciate you coming on board, and we love and supporting every one of you. We do appreciate it tuning in. From all of us here to your family at home, stay safe out there. I'll see you guys next time when the green flag's charging high on PTM Racing TV.